Hi, Chad here with Chaparral Lite. You can see I'm just getting ready to connect the Ford F-350 diesel to the fifth wheel. It's a Coachmen Chaparral Lite 268 BHS bunkhouse slide, and it is, like I said, a fifth wheel connection in the back of the truck. So this video is for anybody who's considering a fifth wheel or just purchased a fifth wheel and not sure how to make a connection. Ours uses a standard fifth wheel hitch. It's actually a slider hitch in the back of the F-350 and the standard fifth wheel connection on the trailer. Some other trailers use a different system. Sometimes there's like a fifth wheel to gooseneck connection. Ours is the typical fifth wheel to fifth wheel hitch connection. So this video should help you out if you're wondering what's it like to connect a fifth wheel to a truck, and we'll talk a little bit about the positives and negatives of a fifth wheel system, and then our experience having had this camper now for about 10 years. It was our first fifth wheel. We've had it for 10 years. Before that, we were a bumper tow camping trailer type of setup. So obviously we liked it enough that we've had it now for 10 years. So here's our fifth wheel hitch. It is the Husky Easy Roller adjustable fifth wheel hitch. And the first thing we're gonna do to get it ready, we've already pulled the pin out of here. I'll flip this up so that the connection can open and close as we back onto the fifth wheel hitch of the camper. Now you want to make sure you have a fifth wheel hitch with a capacity large enough for the camper. Ours is plenty large enough. It's a 16,000 pound hitch with a vertical load range of 4,000 pounds. And that sticker's right there on the hitch. To prepare the camper for a connection, I've got these cords pulled down out of the way. I just kind of lay them over the tailgate so as I back up, they're not interfering with anything. We have one of these plastic swivels on the fifth wheel section of the camper. That saves a lot of wear and tear on the hitch and the fifth wheel. Kind of gives it that plastic lubrication in between the two sources. I've used fifth wheel hitch grease before. That's pretty messy, gets everything dirty. This seems to work much better. We've had it on there for about 3 years. You can see it does peel off in some areas as you wear down on it. So we want to lift. You can see that the hitch is quite a bit higher than the fifth wheel connection on the trailer. So we need to lift the front end of the camper up so that we're level with that hitch. To do that on our camper, you can see there's this landing gear leg control. We're going to say extend, and that is lowering the legs, which is raising the hitch of the camper. Now as I back up, my ground slopes down a little bit, so we're going to try that first, and we'll adjust as necessary. You can see from my view here inside the truck, just by twisting around, I can see the hitch and the fifth wheel connection of the camper, and it's easy to back right into that. That's one of the things I really like about the fifth wheel system. It is an easy connection. It's very fast. In my opinion, easier and faster than the trailer tow connection. Now hopefully you saw as we backed up and the hitch came into the receiver, the handle pushed itself out, and then as we were all the way back, the handle pulled its way back in. This hitch does have that little button that's sticking out. Just to the left of that sticker, there's a little button that sticks out that lets you know that you are fully connected. That's really important. You want to make sure that you're fully connected before you lower the legs. The other thing you want to do is complete your hookup right here. So for that, you want to swivel this little piece forward, which usually I'll do standing on the tire of the truck because I can't quite reach it in the bed. Okay, now I'm actually standing on the tire of the truck bed, and you'll see that sometimes you have to kind of pull this out to get this to flip down. See how it won't go right there? The other option is to raise the camper up a little bit, so I'm going to do that. As you raise the camper up, you'll see there's a little bit of light showing through between the hitch and the camper. That's how you know you're high enough to flip that down. Then this clip goes through there, but I also connect my emergency brake, pull away brake to that clip. And then the clip goes up through here. So then my emergency brake is also on that clip. Now that we're clipped in and secured, we'll go ahead and hit the retract button, which lowers the camper onto the truck. Once the weight's all onto the truck, these legs will actually pull up off the ground. Now, I did a video on the setup of a camper, so if you haven't watched that one, I'll put a link to it up above. But one of the tips I'll give you right here is when you're setting up, you want to extend this leg control, leg landing gear about halfway down, and then pull the pin and let the other half be the pinned part. That way you've got enough retraction and extension to handle however much you need to adjust for level when you're on the truck and off the truck. We'll go ahead and keep retracting these here. You see we've got a lot of ants crawling on that leg. We'll have to check in the camper. Hopefully we're not infested with ants. You can see it's pulling up both sides at the same time. And then once you've got that leg retracted, you can pull this pin, push the leg up into the pin, push the bottom part of the leg up into the top part of the leg, and it'll stay there. I definitely do not like all these ants on everything. I do leave the tailgate down, and I'm not connected to the 7-way tow connector yet, because I first need to disconnect my electricity. You're probably wondering, what is that loopiness of the cord that actually prevents the mice from crawling on my electrical cord through this little hole and into the camper. I found that that is a weak spot. In the wintertime, the mice will crawl right up the cord and into the camper, but if you've got this loopy system, they can't crawl here. If the cord were straight to the ground, they could crawl up it and right up into here. But with my creative power connection system, they can't follow that maze. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this up. There could be a bee in there. It's very common for bees to make a nest inside there. We're good right now. And I disconnect our power here. This cord just goes inside here. I saved this little adapter inside the camper. And this cord is just what we use when we're at home. You can see it's not a heavy duty cord, it's just for the trickle charge of the battery and lights while we're in there. You would not want to use a cord like this one if you're going to try to run the air conditioner or the microwave or anything like that. So I just pull this out of the way for now. Next thing you want to do is remove your wheel chocks. I chock inside the wheels, front and back. And I store those just in the bed. Same thing on this side. You can see we've got the steps down and the handrail out. We'll put those in. I always put the handrail in front of the door just as another layer of protection to keep the door from opening while you're traveling. Put the tailgate up. Plug my cord in so that the trailer is connected to the truck. I'm gonna pull my mirrors out to the extended position on the truck. My truck, those mirrors are not electronic, they're just manually pulled. The last thing I do is a walk around. I once again make sure that that button is out, showing that the fifth wheel hitch is secured and connected. Make sure that my legs are up all the way. My cubbies are closed. The awning is in. I look down the side of the camper, making sure that the steps are in, the door's closed, the handle's in. Visual inspection of the tires. Making sure the kitchen area is all closed up. From the back of the trailer, I look down to make sure the back jacks are up. There's all the places we've been. That back jack is up. The septic dumps, there's two of them, are closed with the caps on. Back tires are good. Slide is all the way in against the camper. We've got lots of bees here, so we must have a nest somewhere. We must have a nest inside the camper where that power cord was, because they're trying to get back in there. Make sure all these cubbies are closed, that septic dump is closed. Our power's connected. Our breakaway brake is connected. And we're good to go. One of the nice things about the Ford system is the trailer brake controller built in. Here you can see my brake controller, and if the trailer were disconnected, it would tell me that the trailer is disconnected, and a message right here on my display. The last thing you want to do with a partner is check your electrical connections and all your lights. So you want a partner here in the truck that's turning your running lights on, checking turn signals, checking the brakes, and checking your hazards. So right now we've got the running lights and the hazards on. Let's give it a check. Our upper lights are on. Side marker is on. Rear marker is on. Back lights are running lights and brakes. And our upper markers are on. Might be hard in the sun on the video. And then I can see down the side here, all our side markers are on down the camper. And I can still see the truck lights are flashing as they should be. I said at the beginning of the video that I'd mention some of the positives and negatives of a fifth wheel connection system. Definitely the positives are ease of connection, ease of towing. On a trailer tow, you're always worried about that sway. On a fifth wheel connection, I never feel the sway of the camper unless we go by a huge truck or a huge truck comes by us at a really fast speed. Other than that, I don't really feel the sway. I also like that the weight of the camper is more directly over the axle of the rear of the truck. I think it's a more stable towing system. One of the downsides of the fifth wheel hitch is that it's always in your bed. So all summer long, when you'd be using your truck probably the most, there's always a hitch in the bed of the truck. Now I can use the John Deere tractor with the forks to lift that in and out. It's not a hard task, but it is a pain that you always need to take the hitch in or out, or in our case, we just leave it in all summer long. We find other ways to haul the things we need to haul in the truck by using the trailer, or sometimes Dad will help us with his truck because his camper is a bumper tow. So that's the downside to a fifth wheel hitch, is that hitch is always in the bed of your truck throughout the summer. If you like videos like this, give us a thumbs up, comment down below, share with your friends. We'll see you the next time.